Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Ryan Williams. Today, what we're going to be doing is covering the Resonance Pro. Just a quick overview. My name is Ryan Williams. I'm one of the founders of Go Resonance. And we have developed 3 mobile applications for the holistic healthcare community. The basic mobile application is called the Resonance Home. The Resonance Go, which is designed for practitioners to do long distance sessions with their clients anywhere in the world. The Resonance Go is used by your clients. They basically will upload their voice and their image. And then as a Resonance Pro practitioner, you can actually import that audio file, and then you can run an analysis and create a custom playlist of energetic frequencies and tones, and you can export those to your clients anywhere in the world. We haven't really delved into that application yet, but I'm sure over the coming weeks or coming months, we will start delving into that and showing you how that works and how you can really use it to actually build your business. So that's the Resonance Go. Resonance Home is a simple, easy to use mobile application. It analyzes your voice, and then it comes up with a series of different playlists or different frequencies that would be beneficial for you in that moment. With the Resonance Home, some of the sessions can last anywhere from 10 or 15 minutes going up to an hour. It really just depends on which of the items that you select to listen to. You know, obviously some items have more frequencies, and as they have more frequencies, there's a need to have more time to actually cycle through those respective frequencies. So bear that in mind with your Resonance Home. Today, what we're going to be doing is going through the Resonance Pro. That is our flagship product here at Resonance Research. The Resonance Pro it's a relatively complex program. It analyzes your voice and it looks for disturbances within your energetic field. And then once we've identified those disturbances, we can actually create a series of custom playlists and frequencies to help get the body back into balance. So today what we're going to do is, as much as what I'll try and give you a bit more of an overview in terms of the Resonance Pro as a kind of sort of generic device in terms of how to use it, we will spend a bit of time within the actual Meridian panel. So the Meridian panel, which I'll pull up shortly, we basically have 12 main meridians within our body. Now, along each and every one of your meridians, you actually have different acupuncture points. So, you know, these meridians, they kind of like sort of function as a network, almost like a sort of highway system where, you know, many years ago, they sort of mapped these 12 meridians through the body, and then along each meridian point, you have different acupuncture points. So each and every one of those acupuncture points have a different kind of resonant frequency. So those, typically when there's a blockage in one of the meridians, there's kind of called stagnant energy or chi, and the chi is not actually sort of flowing through the body. In terms of, you know, kind of Western medicine, you could probably compare your circulatory system to the actual meridians as well. So each meridian is basically connected to respective organs throughout the body, which we will go through. Just quickly, you know, some of the kind of main 12 meridians. We have the small intestine meridian, spleen meridian, kidney meridian, gallbladder meridian, triple heater meridian, lung meridian, bladder meridian, stomach meridian, large intestine, heart meridian, pericardium, governing meridian, liver meridian, and then the conception vessel meridian. So basically within each meridian, there are kind of certain issues that each meridian is kind of denoted to sort of cause an imbalance. In other words, when there's a blockage with one of the acupuncture points within that meridian, that could be responsible for a specific organ being out of balance. So, you know, as an example, with the small intestine meridian, obviously that's going to be responsible for digestion. Your spleen meridian, digestion as well. Kidneys, Your kidney meridian, that's going to regulate your reproductive system. Gallbladder, obviously got to do with liver toxins. Your triple heater meridian, metabolism, and promotes kind of overall a sort of general wellness. Lung meridian, respiratory system. Bladder meridian, that's actually important to remove the toxins from the body. Stomach meridian, that's the nutrient distributor. Large intestine, that basically regulates water from your waste. Heart meridian, circulation of the blood to all the organs. Pericardium is your heart energy. The governing meridian, basically it's like kind of yang functions which strengthen the body. Your liver meridian is your reproductive system. Your ligaments and your tendons, and your conception vessel is your yin functions or your stimulation. So for those of you that, I know I've just kind of read this off, but if you want this, just go ahead and in the comment section on the right-hand side, just ask me to send you the list. I can gladly send you that list as well. The reason why I actually went through those is it just kind of gives us some insight. When we're looking at the meridians, it'll help us sort of identify what specific meridian is imbalanced, and then obviously the respective organ that it could be impacting as well. So just going back to the chi in the body, as I mentioned, you have this kind of chi, which is energy that's moving through each and every one of your meridians. And when there's a blockage in one of the acupuncture points, that is when we have stagnant energy. And that is when you would use acupuncture, where you put the stainless steel needle in a specific acupuncture point. And then what that does, it kind of creates a sort of short circuit of the body, or short circuit of that specific meridian. And it kind of gets the energy, or sort of gets the chi flowing again. So that's it in terms of a kind of brief overview with the meridians. Now, typically one of the benefits with this technology is that it's a sort of multi-modality approach. In other words, within the Resonance Pro, we have a lot of different modalities. We have acupuncture, we have chakra balances, we have aura, we have your risk profiles. There's a lot of kind of different modalities which we've been fortunate enough to bring into one mobile application. And to me, what I like about that is that, as a chiropractor, you are used to seeing everyone from a sort of chiropractic perspective, or if you're a homeopathic practitioner, you see everyone from that homeopathic perspective. What is nice about this technology is that it brings all of the different modalities into one system, because, the typical concept of one size doesn't fit all. Everyone's body is different. So, maybe today somebody might need acupuncture, maybe tomorrow or the next week they will need homeopathic remedies, or they'll need their chakra balanced. And, as a homeopathic practitioner or as a chiropractor, you are seeing everyone through a filter. You're seeing them through that kind of chiropractic filter. And again, because everyone's body is different, that may not be beneficial to your client. So really the cool thing about this technology, we've got all these different modalities into one system. And if you look at the results, it's going to give you an indication in terms of, what will be beneficial for your client for today. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if we can get our application up and running. So bear with me. Sorry, I'm just trying to navigate through here. Hang on. All right, that seems to look good. Let me know if you can see the Resonance Pro. If you just make a little comment on the chat function. And again, this is a sort of interactive process. So by all means, if you do have any questions while I'm going through the program, please don't be shy. Just go ahead and ask a question, and I'll do my best to answer as well. So here we are at the user records page. I'm just going to go ahead and begin a new scan. Typically what we want to do is always click on that begin a new scan before we go ahead with our testing process. I'm just going to load an existing client. And here we get to the voice profiling. I'm just going to do a quick record. We did cover this last week, so I'm not going to spend too much time with this, but most important things are to say the vowels, A, E, I, O, U slowly. And then if you have time, you can enter any positive-based affirmation or something you'd like to work on during the session. I'm just going to go ahead and skip on that voice analysis, and I'm going to click on the begin analysis. So right now what we're doing is we have recorded the voice, and we have now uploaded the voice, and during the scanning process, what we are doing is basically scanning the voice frequencies, the sort of dominant voice frequencies of the client against this database of all of these different items over here. So as you can see, the different items are glands, hormones, infections, organs, amino acids, etc. If we scroll all the way down, you'll see it's categorized from a high reaction all the way down to a low reaction. So typically what we're trying to do here is that, you know, we want to look for the items of probability or the items of disturbance. So if you look at these results, almost equate this to when a body's in a state of homeostasis. So when the body's in a state of homeostasis, everything is within a certain band, and that's when the body is healthy. That's when it is when the body is in balance. When something goes out of homeostasis, it could be your heart rate, it could be your temperature, it could be anything along those lines. When those go out of balance, that is where kind of dis-ease begins to set in, and that's where people begin to feel ill or unwell. And in that instance here, if we look at, for example, everything related to the body system, we want to look at the high items and then the low items. So here we've got the glands that is showing a probability of disturbance. So in a typical situation, what we'd want to do is sort of drill down within the glands and obviously help stimulate the body's own innate healing to kind of help address the glands. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we've got chemical sensitivities as well. So just a quick reminder, during the initial scan, we've broken everything up into the body, and then into the mind, and then into the biofield as well. But today, because we're going to spend a bit of time with the meridians, we're going to nip down to the biofield. And as you can see here, we've got the biofield. We've under the biofield, we've got meridians. So, you know, for this client, it's telling us that the meridians are actually imbalance. You know, they're 349, so they're not excessively high or excessively low. So in a typical case situation, we wouldn't really be focusing on the meridians. But for today's demonstration, we're going to spend a bit of time with the meridians, just go through the process and see what comes up. So the first thing is having a look at the meridians. If I click on the main heading, it's going to break down and it's going to give me a further breakdown. Okay, and the cool thing with this is now in Italian. I have not uploaded the latest version. So here we've got a bit of a mixture of Italian and a bit of a mixture of English. So the cool thing is I am not very good with Italian. So this is going to be a bit fun. I do apologize, but for those of you that do speak Italian, we do have the Italian version ready as well. If you have not downloaded the latest version, go ahead and download the latest version. It's the exact same link that you've used before in the past. And then to access the Italian version, what you want to do is just go ahead and change your device settings to Italian, and then that will actually load your Italian version of both the Resonance Home and the Resonance Pro. But this is going to be interesting. Beautiful. Okay, so anyway, so as we can see, we've got the different meridians here. So if we have a look, something I do want to explain is that if you look at the main heading of meridians, it's showing you 349. But then if you drill down into the sort of meridians, you're going to see that, we've got a high number of 660, which is actually much higher than your kind of global reflection of your meridians of 349. So just bear with me here while I kind of make a quick little jimmy rig to help me with this, please. Sorry, bear with me. I'm just kind of loading something on another device here, which will help me interpret what we have. Okay, so if we have, so what I wanted to explain here is when we're running the scan, it's a kind of two-part scan that we're doing. So let's just close out of the meridian. So let's, if we're having a look at the biofield here, we'll see we've got the respective reaction. Now this is showing, for example, the solfeggio tones. This is showing your kind of global reaction of all of the different solfeggio tones. So when we're running a scan, it's a sort of two-part scan that we're doing. The first part of the scan is that we run each and every one of the solfeggio tones. But then the next thing that we do is we run a kind of deeper scan where we then look at the solfeggio tones in relationship to the global spiritual protection, the global chakra, global meridians, etc. So it's a kind of two-part equation. That's why you're going to see a low item, or you may see a low item on the main heading, but then when you drill down deeper, you'll see there's actually individual higher items, because as I mentioned, it's a kind of two-part scan that we're doing. So in this instance here with the meridians, if we have a look at the reactions here, we've got, obviously from highest down to lowest at 660, Vesica Meridiani, which I'm going to guess is going to be your, I'm not going to guess, I believe it's your actual bladder meridian. So what this is now telling us is that, again, if these items were in red, we'd be paying a bit more attention to it, but not kind of too much, not kind of too concerned with it. But here on the bottom in the blue, so we're looking at the red items and then the blue items. So here we've got your stomach meridian and then the pulmonary meridiani, which that would be the lung meridian as well. So what we can do, there's 2 or 3 things that we can do here to help address these issues. The first thing is we have different balancing trays. In the top, we've got your daily balancing tray. In the bottom, we have your main hold tray, and then we've got your quick balance as well. So typically what the quick balance will do, it'll automatically balance the items that are high and the items that are low. However, if you look at the meridians, we don't really have anything in red. We just got 2 items that are in blue. So using the quick balance in this instance, I don't think would be too sort of beneficial. But what we could do is take our top 2 meridians, drag them to the top of the tray, and then our bottom 2 meridians, which is obviously your stomach meridian as well. Here you can see we've got them dragged into the tray. This is your timer slide. And go ahead and let's say set this down to set it down to, see if I can get it down to 1 minute. Looks about 1 minute. And then once we've got that set, we can go ahead and click on start. So during this time, what we're doing now, we're actually providing kind of stimulation, or we're providing balancing to those top 4 meridians, governing meridian, your stomach meridian, and then those other 2 meridians as well. So you can typically set your time. If you set it down to 0, it is actually going to run indefinitely. Otherwise, you can set it up to 30 minutes, which means it'll run for 30 minutes. Otherwise, you can set it anywhere from 1 minute going up to 30 minutes, no problem. Typically, what I like to do is set it for about 1 or 2 minutes initially, just to have a look at the percent rectification, because that percent rectification is going to help give me an idea in terms of, how beneficial this balancing is, and equally how beneficial or how receptive these items are to actually being balanced. So typically what we're going to look for here is a percent rectification, and that'll be denoted on the bottom. Okay, and as you can see, very high percent rectification here of 92%. So what this means is I've spent 1 minute, I've tried to balance these meridians, but in terms of the sort of resistance in the body, there's been very little resistance. The frequencies have literally just gone straight through the body, almost sort of unnoted. What that means is that these items at the moment are not so specific for the client, just for the simple reason that A, they're not very high, which kind of makes sense. But if this had given me a low percent rectification of, let's say, 5 or 10%, what that means is the body's kind of, it's absorbing the frequencies, it's absorbing those frequencies, and it's saying, yes, I need more of this, I need more of this, I need more of this. And then as a result of that increase in the resistance, the percent rectification would be significantly low. So that's, just sort of something to bear in mind when you are balancing how to look at the percent rectifications. But nonetheless, let's say we have a look at our governing meridian. And as I mentioned to you, our governing meridian, what is that related to? That's related to our yang functions, our strengthening of the body. The top meridian, let's go down to the stomach meridian. The stomach meridian down on the bottom here, that's related to your sort of to your nutrients, right? So that's your kind of, it sort of distributes the nutrients. So let's say we want to have a look at the stomach meridian and sort of drill down deeper. And as we can see, each and every acupuncture point. So we're looking at the stomach meridian. Now what we want to do is basically drill down deeper into each and every specific acupuncture point. And as you can see, we now have all these different acupuncture points. And what this is indicating to us is if we look at the top items and then the low items, it's giving us a kind of percent probability. So what we want to do is we now know that, stomach meridians, it's got to do with distributing the kind of nutrients through the body. But now we want to try to identify which specific acupuncture points within the stomach meridian are out of balance. So here we've got stomach 3, stomach 25, and then stomach 10 as well. There's a little exclamation mark or a little information button. If you click on that, that'll give you an idea in terms of the symptomology for each and every specific acupuncture point. Now, please understand, I always relate to the clinical context. So, it's important to look at the clinical context of your client. In other words, if I click on, for example, stomach 25, it's abdominal distension, pain around the umbilicus, constipation, diarrhea, dysentery, irregular menstruation, etc. It's important to look at the clinical context of your client. You want to understand why your client is actually coming to you in the first place. If they are telling you that they have digestive issues, if they are telling you that they're not absorbing their nutrients, and typically if you've got sort of digestive issues, you're going to have issues with your nutritional absorption anyways. So you want to now look at these items in relationship to the clinical context of the client. If we scroll up to the top as well, stomach 6, swelling of the cheek, toothache, so again, a quick little cheat, you can have a look at these and relate it to your client, Do you have any excessive phlegm, suffering from headaches, dizziness, paralysis? If they say yes, great. Then we know that these specific acupuncture points are blocked and we need to release these. So this is a form of acupuncture, but it's actually called electroacupuncture, where we're using frequencies to help stimulate the specific acupuncture points of the body. So in that instance, we could take our stomach 40 and let's just take stomach 9 as well. 32, and then 17 as well. So as you can see, we've now dragged a variety of different specific acupuncture points together with the stomach meridian. Now, in this instance, remember, we want to balance these specific acupuncture points. So to have these other meridians up here are actually quite kind of pointless, right? So let me just pull it up again. Bear with me. Sorry, I have an older version here. Bear with me. Just going to get back to the Meridian page. Okay, slight variation. Let's just focus on the small intestine. Same kind of process. So when we want to balance a specific meridian and specific acupunctures, what we need to do is basically drag your main meridian, and then you want to drag the specific acupuncture points as well. So I'm going to drag the specific acupuncture points, then scroll down to the acupuncture points here as well. So basically we're looking at sort of dragging the high and then the low items as well. So what's important, just to re-emphasize, we are balancing the small intestine meridian, and then we are balancing specific acupuncture points within that meridian. So that's basically all we want to balance. By having other items in the daily whole tray, you're going to basically like sort of dilute you're going to dilute the efficacy of the balancing. You know, on that note, it's kind of so easy to just sort of drag a whole bunch of different items into a balancing tray and, you know, set your timer and kind of push start. You are going to have a benefit with that, but in many ways, you know, the more specific you can be with your specific items that you've selected, the better results that you can get. Just for the simple reason that instead of blasting the body with, you know, tons and tons of different frequencies that your client may not necessarily need, rather get a kind of sort of narrowed, more kind of focused or sort of dedicated approach. And that's really where I'm not kind of in favor of just dragging a whole bunch of items into your daily balancing tray and sitting back and kind of pushing start and off you go. You really want to spend a bit of time and try to find the items that are kind of correlating with one another. Typically anywhere from kind of 20 to 40 items are sufficient at any one time. But, you know, in an instance like this, where we just want to balance specific acupuncture points, you know, we want to take those specific acupuncture points together with that small intestine meridian. You set it up to your sort of 1 or 2 minutes, and then you look at that percent rectification. That percent rectification will always give us insights into, you know, how effective that specific balancing, that specific sort of balancing session is. So please, if you do have any questions, just go ahead and ask me any questions on the right-hand side. But, you know, what I will do, for those of you that are interested, I'm just going to quickly read through the main issues within each meridian. You can either write them down or just email me or just make a request on the notes section, and I can gladly send you this as a list. But we've got 12 different meridians within the body. Within each meridian, we've got those different acupuncture points. Within the Resonance Pro, on each and every acupuncture point, as I alluded to, you can click on that little exclamation mark and it'll give you the symptoms of those specific acupuncture points. Now, the small intestine meridian, that's digestion. Spleen, digestion. Kidney, reproductive. Gallbladder, liver toxins. Triple heater, metabolism, general wellness. Lung meridian, obviously respiratory. Bladder meridian, toxins. Stomach meridian, nutrients. Large intestine, water from waste. Heart meridian, circulation of the blood to all the organs. Pericardium, your heart energy. Governing meridians, strengthening the body. Liver, reproductive system, ligaments and tendons. conception vessel, yin function, and stimulation. So, what you can always do is that, when your client sort of, comes into you and you're getting the clinical context of the client, you can either make a note of it, or within that intake form on that wellness page, you can go ahead, you can make those changes. And then when you get to the specific Meridian page, you can then kind of, sort of cross-reference other Meridians that you want to look at that forms part of the clinical context. And then you can kind of sort of drill down deeper there as well. Let me just turn this back on. Bear with me. And then the other thing that we can do within these specific acupuncture points as well is that we can actually drill down deeper and we can pull up the entangled insides. So let's say I want to have a look at my small intestine. It says here there's pain in the chest, acupuncture 15, diarrhea, constipation, abdominal pain. So let's say I can relate to this. This is the symptomology of your client. You can just go ahead and click on that. And then here, this will open up the entangled insides. Now, as you can see, we have now loaded the small intestine acupuncture point 15. That's for constipation, diarrhea, etc. So now we've got two options within the entangled insides. We can either just load all of them, or we can try to look for specific items that can help specifically, with the digestion. So what I could do here is perhaps type in digestion, right? So as you can see, we've got digestive enzymes. So that's one item that I could add. The other thing is maybe some Bach flower essences. I could add in those as well. So as you can see, I've got these loaded in. And then what we can do is just go ahead, click on done, and then click on check. So what we're doing now, we're now scanning the small intestine acupuncture point 15 against all of these Bach flower remedies. And what we want to do is try to look for a sort of correlation between the small intestine 15 acupuncture point and then the specific Bach flowers, which may be beneficial. So typically we want to look for anything from kind of 90% and above. So now another prime example, another great way to get good results is we take the specific Bach flower remedies, the ones that are high. And here with the entangled insights, we really just want to focus on the items that are high, not so much on the items that are low, because this is basically giving you a sort of reaction score. So in other words, the higher the number, the more the sort of probability. So now here we've been able to kind of sort of window in a bit more. We've been able to identify the small intestine. We've been able to identify the specific acupuncture points, and now the Bach flower essences related to your small intestine 15. So as you can see, within that daily balancing tray, we are now gathering kind of specific energetic signatures, which are all forming part of the global picture of this client that is suffering from, digestion, constipation, diarrhea, etc. So as I mentioned before, we really want to try to be a bit more kind of laser targeted within this approach. So as we're getting specific frequencies, more beneficial, the frequencies will have a better impact. We just go ahead and set your timer down, and then we go ahead and click on start, and then off we go. We are now balancing for a minute as well. During this time, during the balancing time, we are balancing all of those items that are in that daily whole tray for a period of 1 minute. As I mentioned beforehand, it'll show us the percent rectification. That'll give us an idea in terms of how effective this specific balancing is for our clients. Let's just go ahead and wait for this to finish. We'll have a look at the percent rectification. Okay, and as that percent rectification is complete, as I mentioned, it should give a percent rectification. I have not uploaded the latest version, so it is giving me a bit of grief. But nonetheless, I do hope this has given you some insights into the Meridian, and specifically the Meridian panel, how you can sort of window in and kind of narrow in to the specific acupuncture points, and then how you can compare that against the entangled insights as well. The entangled insights, it consists of, thousands and thousands of different energetic substances that you sort of use to kind of drill down one step deeper. And then, once you've identified those items, you bring them all together to either your daily balancing tray. A lot of those you should be bringing down to your main whole tray as well. But we'll certainly, I think I'll be back on Thursday. So we'll certainly, I'm not too sure what the topic is for next week, Thursday, but we can certainly delve into the percent rectifications as well. And then with a bit of luck by Thursday, I'll have a English version as well. So that'll make a bit more sense to me. So for those of you that have joined us, I want to thank you for your time. Once again, my name is Ryan Williams. I'm one of the founders of Resonance Research. If you've yet to download a trial version, we do have a trial version available. If you are using your Resonance Pro and you need some one-on-one training or anything, please just reach out to us. We can gladly set that up. Once again, everyone, thank you very much. Have a great day. We will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.